Good evening from the Willows. It's Stones Bitter First Division Championship time. Salford, the team with off the field troubles at the moment, will be looking to put things right on the field against Warrington, still smarting from that cup defeat against Oldham earlier in the season. One commentator only just arrived because you can't believe that there are 40,000 people wanting to get into Old Trafford, which means that I'm not up to date with the team news, but as we sort out who's playing, we can already see Warrington with a first surge coming forward. We'll sort out who's who. Warrington with a big overlap not used. Some changes on the Salford team from the Sunday disaster nonetheless. Andy Gregory now player coach is in at scrum half, but Warrington going forward strongly. Number 10, Gary Tees. Good 6 from Warrington. 6, Yestin Harris. Tyra back at fullback. And the first initiative very much with Warrington. Penny, Forster, Harris, no, who's number 3? Forster, Bateman. Yeah, who's number 4? Okay, Harris and Shelford. Hilton, Barlow, Tees. So you can see for yourselves the early plays going Warrington's way. Salford having to scramble on defence, conceding the penalty, and Warrington wanting to go for the early points on the board in the form of a try. If they can, Salford's defence, can it step up a gear? Warrington with men over the side. Good play from men. Good running with the ball. Important tackle from Salford. But Harris causing danger, causing problems. And was that Maguire? But another penalty against Salford for being offside, and another chance for Warrington. Maguire and Sanderson in the second row. Wainwright at loose forward for Warrington. So I can go down the whole Warrington team. Sorry it's taking so long. Lee Penny's at full back in the 3/4. Forster, Bateman, Davis and Roper. Half-backs Harris and Shelford. Forwards Hilton, Barlow and Tees. Sanderson and Maguire. And loose forward Wainwright. Substitutes in the programme, Maloney and Elliott. The full Salford team tonight. Tyres at full back, and the 3/4 are McAvoy, Naylor, Critchley and Ford. Half-backs Panaper and Gregory. And in the forwards, Young, Lee, Eccles, Marsden, Webster and Blease at loose forward. Substitutes Wilson and Randall. And I'm just starting to get my breath back for a game which has seen Warrington dominate the opening stages, and with their third penalty, Davis choosing to go for goal from a very kickable and yes, successful position. 2-0 to the Wires, only 2 minutes on the clock. So Salford get things underway as they did just 3 minutes ago, and Warrington start off in the same vein, wanting to pass the ball, space for them over this side. Salford defending well enough to stop them making ground and taking advantage of it. Has been raining just a couple of minutes ago, but now it's dry, but coldish night. But the handling so good from these players who are willing to run the ball like Warrington are then. Tees taken down in that previous tackle. And Salford this time keeping Warrington inside their own half with their 6. But the kick's a good one. The kick from Barlow making good ground into the Salford half. Bennett, not Barlow, at number 9. It's no good all these people going to watch United when they can see a decent game down here at the Willows. Blocking up the motorway, stopping me getting here on time. But Salford fans must be really wondering what's been going on behind the scenes. And Sam Paniper running well. Good break from Paniper. Brilliant rugby. Now he's got to go on his own. He's seen the line. He's sold the dummy. And he's going. And he's going. And that has to go down as one of the finest opportunist tries of the season. Sam Paniper taking the ball from Andy Gregory from the scrum. 10 metres inside his own half, surrounded by Warrington tacklers. He made it to the halfway line, went inside, found open space that wasn't there, raced forward, turned the fullback inside out, and had the speed and the legs to go to the rest of the way to the line for a thrilling 65-metre try that has seen Salford take the lead. What a start for Sam Paniper. So rugby league, as always, never without incident, never without excitement. And the opening 7 minutes of this game has seen Warrington press from the start. 2 points for a penalty from Davis, and then a Paniper try for Salford, really out of the top draw. And Richard Webster making that slot his own in the Salford pack. Ian Blease, a veteran, getting his pass on to Ford. And Ford, a rare mistake from him, but that will put Salford under pressure. And Warrington to regain some of the initiative with possession just on the Salford 20. Ball in the scrum and quickly out, and immediately Warrington going forward. That's Foster that time. Salford having to break quickly from the scrum. Good line from Warrington. They're using it. An obstruction given by the referee, crossing. And that little move just reminds us how we take for granted the fact that these rugby league players get themselves in the right position to time the pass and take it to perfection. Surging run, ball grabbed out of his hand, and surely the penalty correct by the touch judge first of all, and then the referee Russell Smith, Mr. Smith, refereeing tonight's game, communicating well with his touch judge, and that didn't look as though it was going at first, but in the end that is an excellent touch. David Young driving forward. Gregory, Eccles doing the same. Salford's turn to attack. They haven't really done it, but they've scored a try. Good line for them, good movement inside from Blease. Strong running from him, but Warrington defending well, in depth in numbers. Gregory looking for his runners, can't find any. Instead it puts the little kick, but it goes straight to the receiving hands over here of Roper. And the move well guarded by Warrington. But they're inside their own 20, looking to work it clear. They are doing good handling along the line, trying to find that extra space. Like that, and that was an important tackle over that side from Salford. Salford fans like that tackle from Young. Tees going forward strongly, coming back to Davis for the kick. Tyler takes it well and immediately runs forward, taken down crunchingly. Salford going back into it. And when Jim's arrived is the good news. Jim, I don't know, I was late as well, Jim. All the traffic on the motorway, terrible, yeah. Well, we've got a game and a half as always, Jim. If you know the score, Warrington had the better of the opening and got a penalty. They had 3 before, took 1 kick, and Davis was successful, and then Panaper scored an unbelievable try from 10 metres inside his own half, surrounded by Warrington players, and he outstripped them, all of them.
Well, it's a very important game for Andy Gregory, apparently. Is he not going to take over at the club?
Well, apparently he already has done, at least temporarily till the end of the season, and Salford have to really start playing the game twice the speed as they did on Sunday, and it's been a good start. Good game, though, Jim.
That's Warrington on the attack there, moving forward. That could be Gary Sanders, I'm not certain who it is. As I say, I've only just arrived. It's Mark Wainwright, actually. Normally plays in the Warrington 18, but Warrington's swinging the ball around well here. 4 points to 2 down at the moment. Bit of a break from the Warrington fullback coming in there. I'm just trying to get my breath back. I've been stuck on the Mancunian Way for about an hour and a half, it would appear, but it's a marvellous view here. I'm not biased, but I hope Warrington get the better of the first half.
Well, it's good attack from Warrington here, and well taken again by Warrington. Oh, and Warrington so unlucky. Great little kick over into space, recovered by Warrington attackers, and just the one pass that looked as though it might have been knocked on because it wasn't taken. The referee allowed the advantage to be played, so he decided that if the pass had been taken, a clear Warrington chance to score a try. And as it is, Salford wanted to come back. A good play from Salford, from Mark Lee that time. Cliff Eccles doing well, but taken down by Bennett. Good line for Salford up this side. Webster bringing Salford to the halfway line, and certainly more verve about this Salford performance than we saw. And Ian Blease going forward with pace. Oh, Ian Blease breaking a tackle, not done that so often this season. Salford probing, Tyra doing just that, but Warrington comfortably on defence that time. This time it's the kick, it's the high one. Everybody's onside, the chasers are going, but taken by McAvoy after the... Oh, another 6 for Salford. McAvoy snapping up the drop ball. Now Salford didn't get it out right, it came the wrong way. Chance over this side, but wasn't taken. Now it's coming this way, men over, like that. Another one in the line, Naylor's here, he's going over his toe, and he's going to get there. No, he's not. Superb Warrington cover that time. Superb cover from them. But still Salford with the advantage, but going backwards, having to stop. Lost ground, Warrington forcing them backwards. Salford need to be running forward onto the ball. Like, but that pass taken down, knocked on, and this is going to be another 6 for Salford. Well, good Salford attack, Jim, as you warm to the game as it starts to snow, but even better Warrington defence in that phase.
Oh, certainly, that was some excellent attack there from Salford. A lot of pressure on the Warrington line. Andy Gregory featuring quite a few of the attacks there as the snow comes down here at the Willows West. But Salford still in possession in the hands of Panaper again. Panaper slipping the ball away, but eventually in the hands of the Warrington fullback. So Warrington have got a chance to try and relieve the lines. That's a penalty against Sam Panaper, I think, against the Warrington fullback. Obviously for interference at the play of the ball. Not allowing the player to actually get up as Davis puts the ball into touch. Just about 15 yards from the Warrington 20. So Warrington really soaked up an awful lot of pressure there. But the Warrington defence was good enough, but there's still 4 points to 2 down as the snow really comes down here at Salford. That's Maguire. It's an interesting looking Warrington side. I can't quite see who the scrum half is. It looks to me as if it's Yestin Harris, in fact. So they've actually swapped the numbers. So Shelford is scrum half, Yestin Harris at number 6. And a marvellous break there from the Warrington hooker. I think it looks like Andy Bennett to me. Just short of the post, and Maguire going on his own, and Warrington really could do with a try here. But it's an interception and a knock on. So it's end-to-end rugby league here at the Willows tonight, and Warrington really soaking up a lot of pressure, but put some pressure on the Salford line. Almost an interception that could have been an end-to-end try, but the score still remains Salford 4, Warrington 2. So the wire in possession we see, and it looks as if it's one against the head, which is very, very rare in rugby league these days.
Yeah, what a great sight to see. So what an unexpected take that was from Salford. Panaper, well, he's done it once, not going to do it again. But Warrington deciding very clearly that the referee deciding that Warrington weren't straight and giving the penalty to Salford. Exciting game, Jim, isn't it? I mean, a try for Warrington that could have been. well, we could have seen 2 tries for Warrington whilst you've been here. One the drop ball and just then. And
It's probably the second time this year I've seen one against the head in rugby league. You see that very, very rarely, and probably more so in rugby union, I would think, but I've never seen that for a long time, really.
Yep. Bob Marsden taking Salford into the Warrington half, 4-2 in the lead. Salford wanting to get on with it. Great urgency about Salford's play. But nobody, for the first time, nobody in support of David Young. But Webster's running forcefully, strongly. Great determined running, and that's what Ian Blease has done tonight and Webster's done tonight. Broken the tackle. Now there's a chance over that side. Men over. Tyra hangs on. Perhaps it would have been better to go. It's the last one. Phil Ford with a high kick. It's going to be a difficult one. Everybody's onside, not taken. It is now. Oh, but it's dropped. Went forward, and there, well, that was a clear chance for Salford. Everybody let it bounce. Jamie, if Salford could have taken that cleanly, surely there was a try for them.
I think really Salford should have gone even further into the lead. Looking at the Salford side tonight, it's difficult for me to understand why they took such a pacing against Castleford. Was it Castleford on last Sunday by 40-odd points or something? Because the forwards really are moving very, very quickly indeed, and Andy Gregory's prompting all the time. And I think Warrington have just got to try and slow this game down a little bit. They've got a chance now that just inside the 20. The Warrington forwards bring the ball away. That's Gary Tees, I think. I'm still trying to get used to the teams here, only having just arrived at the ground. And that's Hilton. Hilton moving forward, tackle there midway between the 20 and the halfway line. And at the moment, it looks to me that Salford look much the better side. Mark Wainwright in the loose forward berth, spinning around, but he's surrounded there by 2 burly Salford tacklers. And it's Bennett, who very nearly scored just a few minutes ago. Gary Sanderson, who really has had a good year for Warrington. He seems to have put on a yard of pace this year. And Warrington making ground inexorably forward. That should be a forward pass, I think, but the crowd certainly thought it was. The referee now decides that there's going to be a penalty here for Warrington, is it? Offside. Oh, it's a scrum down, in fact. The referee's given the forward pass. It seemed to me like about 30 or 40 seconds before the pass was actually effective.
Yeah, it was as if he allowed the advantage rule against Salford, but it was a right decision. We all agree on that then. And McAvoy in the right wing spot. Panaper standoff. Naylor. Good running from him, making ground even during the tackle. Salford wanting to get on with it, moving this ball, many support so quickly. Bob Marsden forcing his way through like that. Scored a cracking try on Sunday. Great determination from him. Webster having just to check a little bit, but still manages to shrug off one tackler. And now the referee decides that Warrington were all offside. Play the advantage, another long advantage. And the penalty this time goes to Salford. Salford with their off-the-field troubles, and the last few weeks, it would appear, those of us who just come and watch the game don't really know what's going on amongst the players. Obviously sad to see the departure of Gary Jack, 3 years here at the Willows, 2 as coach, and certainly the foundation of a Salford team that will get better. Andy Gregory, we wish him well in his new position. What all Salford fans want is a successful Salford team. And certainly the 20 minutes that we've seen so far of this game, we've seen a team playing with renewed zest and confidence and belying the performance that we saw particularly in the second half last Sunday. But they haven't scored points too many, but they have that time. Successful attempt from Gary Tyra, extending Salford's lead to 6-2. It could have been more, but we could have had 2 tries, I think, from each team so far. Cracking opening to the game, Jim. Now you got your breath back.
Marvellous opening to the game, and I think Salford deserved the lead. 6 points to 2 in front, and as you just said, I think Salford should have scored another couple of tries, but then again, Warrington have had the chances too. There's Jonathan Davis playing in the left centre berth. And Salford 6 points, Warrington 2, with just midway through the first half, 19 minutes gone. And Andy Gregory feints as if to take that ball, decides he's not going to do so. Well, Warrington really got to try and get this ball back quickly, because they've hardly had much of the possession in the last 10 minutes or so. And what possession they've had, they've made good use of it. But the Salford forwards really running very straight, and Sam Panaper at the moment having a marvellous game in the standoff berth. And he's tackled there just 2 or 3 yards outside the 20. to Salford trying to clear the lines here. 6 points to 2 in the lead. It's had a very interesting Warrington side with 1 or 2 reserves tonight, but doesn't matter. A marvellous chance here for Salford. Ball moved inside again. No. In fact, that ball looks to me as if it's gone in touch, but that really was a good chance.
Yeah, good 6 from Salford. Certainly Warrington had them wrapped up for the first 3, but at the 6th tackle there, the ball was moved out well, and the ball's actually gone into touch off a Warrington player, so they all say over that side, so Salford have the chance again, but possession is good, and so is position. Panaper having to check. Critchley had overrunning that time. But Redster running strongly, probing for an opening, gets on and plays it, whether he needed to or not. Salford a bit uncertain, but Eccles makes it his. Wants to go forward a bit. Salford in their exuberance tonight, getting in each other's way. Gregory, pass on to Blease, almost able to get, if somebody had been at Blease rightly takes it to himself. Blease playing well tonight, good pass on from him. That was a forward pass, but referee didn't spot it. It's the last one, but Salford make it to the 10. The short side move comes back inside. Marston going on his own, and he's crashed over, and the referee says he's held up just short of the line. And how many times we've seen players held short of the line this season is absolutely incredible to me, Jim. I don't think I've ever seen a season where players have been stopped short by inches like on that occasion.
I think it's just good tackling short of the line, actually, but Warrington in possession now. Mark Foster trying to clear the Warrington lines there, just tackled on the 20. And Bennett, scrum at dummy half onto Mark Hilton. Hilton coming forward, but the tackling in there well. And Warrington really have got to try and get up the into the Salford 20. Half a break from Wainwright. A good break there coming in from the Warrington number 12, Maguire. Warrington in possession there. Bennett surrounded by Salford players. Chance here for Davis. Davis going towards the line, gets the ball inside. A lovely try for Warrington, really made by Bennett. He seemed to be surrounded by Salford players. Handed the ball on to Davis. He knew he couldn't make the lines. The cover came across. The ball inside, back onto Bennett again. And a lovely try for Warrington, 6 points apiece. That really was worth coming to see. Play, but that will give Warrington heart. That certainly will give Warrington heart, because they've not had much of the ball in the last 10-12 minutes. But as I did say, when they have had the ball in their hands, they've made fairly good use of it. So it's Salford again to kick off. 6 points all here at the Willows. I've never yet been to the Willows and seen a bad game. That looks to me as if it's, I was going to say it's gone directly into touch, but it didn't do so. And the Warrington fullback came in. In fact, it wasn't. It was Yestin Harris. Decided to leave the ball. A good decision, really. A knock on there would have given the scrum to Salford. As it is, Warrington have the ball. And it's in the arms of Mark Foster again. This is a move that so many times Warrington use. The winger coming in to give the forwards a rest, but I'm not sure it's the best thing to do. Yestin Harris onto the wide fullback. Tackle there just 7 or 8 yards short of the Salford half of the field. Wainwright again onto this man Bennett, who appears to me to be the pick of the Warrington forwards. Wire still in possession in the arms of Shelford, and eventually onto Gary Tees there, but the Salford players in. Sam Panaper on eventually. It's back again, this time it's onto Davis. Davis tackled very well indeed there, just 3 or 4 yards short. That's the last tackle. What will we see? One up in the air. There's Yestin Harris towards the post, chased by Warrington players. Ball eventually beautifully taken by the Salford fullback. Tyler did exceptionally well there, under a lot of pressure. Very well indeed. But Salford now attempting to clear the lines.
Yeah, it's a good 6 from Warrington on an attack, but a good defensive 6 from Salford, and that take from Tyra made it look so easy, and it never is. Lee wants to get on with it, and he is doing. Ford wants to get involved as well tonight. Another 10 metres from him. Marsden. Going and going. So difficult to put down. It's the last one though. Salford still inside their own half. Looking for the kickers, and it'll be Lee.
Get after it!
Infield, giving Warrington possession.
So again, that's Jonathan Roper. Left wing berth is played, of course, in the centre and on the wing for Warrington. Warrington have 1 or 2 injuries at the moment. Probably the key one being in the injury to Mackey, the Warrington scrum half and skipper. But Warrington have got good strength in depth. 6 points apiece, just 26 minutes gone. On to Mark Hilton. tackle there just almost inside the Salford half of the field. Bennett again at dummy half. It's on to Shelford. Shelford spins it along to Maguire. Maguire back onto Shelford again. A good break from Shelford. Just taken down eventually there. Ankle tapped. Penny. Eventually onto Gary Tees. Ball gone loose. Salford back in possession. Referee obviously sees nothing wrong with that. And Salford back in possession.
Yeah, that was, I think, the quietest six that we've had. And there's Nathan McAvoy doing so well to elude the first, if not the second tackle of Bennett. And Salford crowd loving this one. Blease striding out. Oh, so unlucky. Ian Blease in this first 26 minutes playing better than he has done all season. And the referee picking out a Warrington player. I don't know whether it was in particular Maguire who was picking out, but certainly Salford fans are seeing a much better performance today. And Salford rightly going for the goal. Salford still without Steve Blakely, but a Salford performance really is warming the hearts of the fans, and the players certainly responding in this first half hour of this game to Andy Gregory's leadership, playing with a verve and a vitality we've not seen over the last few weeks, Jim. There's obviously been something going on that we've not known about, haven't we? When it culminates in the coach's departure, we obviously wish Gary Jack well, and wish Andy Gregory well as well in this difficult challenge of making a team out of Salford and seeing if a bit of success can really arrive down here at the Willows. A victory tonight would help that task enormously. Gary Tyree, if he misses, must remember obviously to make the ball dead, and Phil Ford's following it in. He strikes it well, but it goes dead. It doesn't go dead. Well picked up over the line, and this might prove costly as the game goes on.
Warrington, of course, fighting for a top 8 spot, and they're in 7th position at the moment, but Oldham, I think, below them have lost 4 or 5 more games, so Warrington's position at the moment fairly safe. Having said that, Warrington would like to win here tonight, and that really was a chance that went begging there for Salford. It was 35 yards out, but direct in front of the post, and one would really have expected that to be 2 points. Jonathan Davis onto Wainwright. Wainwright eventually onto Gary Tees, but Blease in there immediately. Just tackled virtually on the centre spot. That's the last tackle, so Warrington have cleared the lines, but we're waiting for a kick now. There's Jonathan Davis. Ball taken beautifully. And Salford back in possession.
Good take by McAvoy, down by his ankles. Salford just sort of having a breather at the minute, whereas the Warrington line is moving up quickly. And Salford know that if they're going to find holes in defences, they've got to keep the passing game going like that. Goes back safely. Well rescued by Salford in the end, but goes loose, and the referee waves them on, I think. What's he doing? Is he or isn't he? Yes, he is. He's waving them on. The chance all that side by Tip Panaper over there again. Panaper so involved for Salford tonight. Superb try for him. Arguably one of the best solo tries of the season. Little short side move. And Salford looking to move the ball whenever they can. Panaper, quick hands. Naylor boxed in. Can't get away. Warrington defence up quickly. Nice little pass from Webster. Critchley in the centre looking to play well. And Gregory straightening up. Can he go on his own? Gets his pass inside to Marsden. And Marsden so unlucky not to be able to take it. But a chance to Salford.
That was a nice little break there from Andy Gregory, and the pass wasn't taken, otherwise I think that may well have been 4 more points to Salford. Warrington in possession. Lee Penny clearing the line very well indeed. A good 25 yards made there by the Warrington fullback. It's Mark Wainwright's turn this time, the dummy half. Onto Mark Hilton. Mark Hilton using the narrow side. Mark Wainwright again. It's going to be Maguire first man in, I think. Although Wainwright going on his own. Onto Maguire. Large space there that Warrington really should have used. Eventually in the arms of Alan Bateman. Bateman loses the ball. Salford back in possession with about 10 minutes to go. They like to score now.
Yeah, what a chance over that side. Cliff Eccles is trying to go on his own. Get the men in support. Salford have a real chance here. Where are the men in support? David Gunn can't find any. Well, Stuart on the camera said that in the next break we're going to change the film. There hasn't been a break for 5 minutes. Richard Webster overrunning. Well, Salford were pulled back for crossing. Warrington got on with it quickly, and Salford have come up with a scrum in the ball. So, a surprising decision. We can't quite work out what the referee was saying then. Perhaps it was because, I know what it was, the penalty was not taken from where the referee wanted it to be taken from. So Salford have the chance as a result. Marsden running, but unfortunate, unlucky. Phil Ford saying he didn't, and now being penalised for disputing whether he was in touch or not. So Phil Ford should know that's what happens, and Marsden will be a bit aggrieved with himself to have conceded possession in only the second play. So while Salford are having the position and the possession, Jim, they're not now looking as though they can breach the Warrington defence in the last 5 minutes.
I think the game has slowed down a little bit, and it certainly was 100 miles an hour rugby league when I first arrived at the ground. But Salford now have slowed down a little bit. Andy Gregory's coming more into it, I think, and Sam Panaper less so. There was an interesting decision by the referee before when the penalty wasn't taken from the correct point. Normally a referee would in fact call the players back. That's going to be a penalty. Gary T's lack of discipline there from the Warrington number 10. And it looks to me as if the referee's incurring the wrath of both sets of players at the moment. And Salford are going to attempt to kick at goal, but surprised the referee didn't have a little chat with Gary Tees then, but I must admit I thought the referee's decision was right. It certainly looked a forward pass to me.
Yeah, and I think it was just frustration from Gary Tees that he put the ball down, because actually Warrington did what Salford just did, and that was surrender possession early in the plays, but maybe not. If Gary Tyrer can't get the length on this kick, it's going to go back to Warrington again. If he misses, that is. Success rate not very good from him tonight. I think it's 1 out of 4. What are we, 35 metres out, something like that? And the pitch wearing well, Jim, isn't it? I mean, there's a lot of grass on it, considering how much rugby. In the game against Leeds last week, it was like a quagmire. There was water everywhere. He recovered incredibly well. Both these teams have played last Sunday, playing tonight. Tyra hits that one. It's not even going to reach the post. Possession to Warrington, no points to Salford.
Salford really should be much further in front at the moment, but Warrington have weathered the storm. Jonathan Davis using the narrow side well, onto John Roper. So really the game has been played, I think, in the Warrington half of the field for most of the first half. Looks like Elliott to me, the number 11. He's tackled there midway between, in fact it's Gary Sanderson. Mark Hilton, good movement forward there, good yardage made from Mark Hilton. Almost breaks the halfway line. Warrington still in possession. Still 6 points all here at Willows. And Warrington, I think, would like to score if they can in the next 6 minutes before half-time. The referee's made 1 or 2 interesting decisions, one might say. I would never criticise a referee, I don't think you should, and I think a referee's right even when he's wrong. Lovely take there. Salford back in possession, but they're deep inside their own territory. A little bit of the sting and the fire appears to have gone out the Red Devils.
Yeah, but they had the measure of that Warrington attack, and they were left with the kick, and Tyra took it well. But it's been a good first half. Naylor scored some good tries for Salford, and he gets the pass on like that. Richard Webster making one of these forward positions his own, and rightly so. And Ian Blee's playing well today. Going well, good ground from him. But Salford just need that little cohesion, teamwork. Gregory's probing, the passes are going through the hands, but it's the short side. Warrington defenders able to handle that Salford attack. It's the last one already. So this time Gregory puts the kick in for touch off a distance, goes to Warrington. Warrington in possession again.
Back in the arms of Yestin Harris there, and Gregory may well be over 30, but he still looks a top-class rugby league player to me, and he's a very good leader as well. And I'm sure we'll see Salford going from strength to strength under his leadership, although it's still sad to see Gary Jack go, because he did a lot for this club. Good break from Wainwright. It's going to be a Warrington try, surely. Has he got the leg? Has Penny got the legs? He certainly has. A 75-yard try, really made by Wainwright. Penny came up from the full-back berth. Did he really have the legs? Yes, he did. I thought with about 10 yards out he didn't, but there were certainly 2 Warrington players, Davis and Roper, I think, on his left-hand side. Eventually Penny decided to hold on, almost fell over, right in front of the posts. Warrington 10 points, Salford 6, and I think Salford will feel a little bit aggrieved at that.
Yeah. So Salford Hearts must have gone down a notch. but we won't see a recurrence of what we saw against Castleford on Sunday. That'll put some... Did you see the match against the Salford Warrington game and the Regal Trophy? Jim, were you here for that one?
I wasn't actually here. I was away, but I saw part of it on the television, and I was absolutely amazed at the transformation in the second half. Salford in the lead, was it 24 points at 10, 26-10 at half-time, and Warrington really came back in the second half. Having said that, Salford still had the chances in the second half as well, I think. But I thought Warrington played exceptionally well. But the bite appears to have gone out of Salford a little bit, and that very often happens when you have a lot of possession and you don't convert that possession into points. And Warrington have laid back a little bit. They have slowed the game down somewhat. They've tackled well, but I still think there's a lot more in this game. That was a poor pass really onto Maguire. He took it exceptionally well, but the tackling down for Salford centre field is not as good as it was, I don't think. A long pass there eventually onto Bateman, but I'm not sure whether it was Alan Bateman. Is it? Yes, it is Alan Bateman getting up there. That's Shelford eventually onto Hilton, who's knocking one or two holes in this Salford defence at the moment. But 12 points to 6 in Warrington's favour, a little bit against a runner player, I would say. Gary Sanderson really has had a marvellous season for Warrington. I think probably the best season he's had. And he's, as I said before, he's put on a yard of pace. Jonathan Davis, fairly aimless kick really, but it keeps Salford inside the 25, and it's the ex-Warrington player Phil Ford trying to break the 25 as he spins around, eventually tackled just on the line. So with about 2 minutes to go to half-time, Salford really would like an end-to-end try now.
Yeah, but they need something to bring them back on level terms. And perhaps if the venom's gone out the Salford tackling, maybe it's that first Spurs, maybe they're getting the second win. Questions perhaps to be asked whether they're as fit as other teams, but Richard Webster is, isn't he? Superb running from him. Unlucky not to be able to get the pass on to McAvoy. Have Salford got the stamina to get back into it? McAvoy still running. It's the last one. Gregory looking to pass, and he finds space down here. Mark Lee kicking through, kicking ahead. Mark Lee's chasing it himself, and the referee's going to pull things back. But I think, if anything, going to say something awful now. I think it was Mark Lee who was the offending person there. So we'll see what the referee's decision is going to be. The touch judge certainly saw something and will have his own view about what happened. Roper certainly received a knock. Whether it was intentional from Mark Lee or not. So the touch judge consulting at length with the referee, and the referee is deciding that the Warrington player was the offender. Bit harsh, I think, Jim.
Yes, a little bit. I think a little bit harsh. It may well have been 6 or 1.5, a dozen of the other. But you would expect the defender to obstruct rather than the attacker, so fair enough.
Yeah, that's a good point, Jim. But Salford 6 more, 40 minutes on the clock. Critchley in his favoured centre position today. Can he get some of that try score and have it back? Can Cliff Eccles? Can Salford, last minute this first half, score an important try? Men over in the line. There's a chance over this side. McAvoy's going in. Out to McAvoy. Naylor. Chris Hands along the line. Gregory bumps the air. He liked that one. We all love that one because it was Chris Hands along the line from the centre of the field. Naylor drew the Warrington defence and McAvoy on his right to take his sharp pass and dive over in the corner.
Just inside the 20. And it's a good kick too. It's a very good kick indeed. And that, I think, really is what Salford deserves. So really going into injury time. In fact, that's half-time. What a very good time to score. The half-time score, Salford 12, Warrington 12. And I think fair enough, a fairly even Steven game.
Yeah, and the Salford fans, well, they've got their faith in their team again. Tyrus missed a few kicks, but what a one to be successful with. Salford just perhaps faltering a little bit in the few minutes before half-time, but coming back right at the death with a great try and conversion. Half-time, 12-all, cracking game of rugby league yet again. So Warrington get the second half underway. And Salford What can they do this second half? They can do that. Brilliant run. First break, excellent. From Cliff Eccles. Gary Tyrer up from fullback. Always good to see the fullback joining in the attack. Panaper. One classic try from him so far. Mark Lee selling the dummy, looking for space, probing, still going forward. Nobody quite in the support for the pass, but Salford inside. Warrington half. Gregory with the kick. It's running and running and running and finds excellent touch inside Warrington 20. So, can Salford sustain the effort that we saw in the first half and convert performance into result? Warrington in possession, Jim.
The wide in possession here, it's 12 points apiece, and Salford had started the second half, opened it very brightly indeed, and a good kick from Andy Gregory. But Warrington have got a chance here as Alan Bateman just tackled just outside the 20, and we were talking in the half-time interval about Salford seemingly going off the boil midway through the first half. It may well be lack of fitness, I don't know, and Warrington certainly on a very fit side. That's Gary Tees, but really nobody with him, just taking the ball on his own. But Warrington are making good yardage forward, but still a fairly lacklustre performance, one would think, up to now. That's Maguire. Half a break coming in from Maguire, and that's the last tackle. Bennett on his own. Bennett still going forward, but that's going to be a changeover or a turnover, whatever you call it in rugby league these days. But a good break from Bennett, and he really does appear to me to be the pick of the Warrington players tonight.
And Nathan McAvoy is doing something that impresses me when he gets the ball. He's running at speed immediately, not just lobbing along and jogging along first of all. And Eccles taking that pass, making it look easy. And Salford with 3 plays, surging forward. Handling well, Blease pushes off one but not a second Warrington tackler, and Salford back on the attack again. Martley Marsden looking for support, has to go on his own, stays in play, and Salford's so unlucky that they couldn't get quite the line for the pass there. Martley going the little kick, the chase is on, Salford going strongly, and have they got there first? The crowd say he has, and the referee allowed plays to go on. And in the end, the referee, it's based on the touch judge, the referee is deciding that it was a double movement or a knock-on just before the line. And Salford with the first chance, Jim, unlucky there not to score.
It looked to me originally if there was too much weight on that kick, but there wasn't. It was perfectly weighted. And I think Phil Ford was very unlucky there. We were rather unsighted, really, but the referee worked well with his touch judge, which we like to see the officials doing that. The referee unsighted too. And the touch judge said it was a knock-on. So Warrington again on the third tackle have made 20 yards forward and doing very well indeed. That's Yestin Harris in the stand-off position. I've always wanted to see Yestin Harris at stand-off. He certainly played for Wales in that berth against Australia early in the season, and he got some rave reviews from the Aussies. Mark Wainwright really is developing into a good top-class performer from Warrington, perhaps with a little bit more weight on him. He would in fact be even better. Jonathan Davis, a long kick from Davis into the box, taken very well indeed by Tyra. But the Warrington chase is good as well, and that's Maguire, who puts him down just 2 or 3 yards outside the 20.
And McAvoy again running forward at speed instantly. Salford looking to work forward. Critchley taken down. Was it who got hold of Critchley then? Oh, it's a chance now for Salford, and Marsden's seen space. Oh, Marsden again creating opportunity for nothing. Unlucky not to get his pass on to Ford. Gregory sells the dummy, goes on the right now, there's a chance over that side. The pass is out, it's a good one. McAvoy, can he find space out there? He can't, he can come inside, but the Warrington tackling tenacious over there. Salford still looking to go forward. Gregory, what will the ploy be? The kick forward deep. The ball's running and running into touch again, and another good 6 for Salford, ending in a scrum down with a Warrington put in 10 metres from the Warrington line. So end to end again, Jim, isn't it?
Good stuff there from Andy Gregory as well. He's probing well, he's handling beautifully, he's kicking quite magnificently, and that's just 10 yards short of the Warrington try line. So even if Warrington get the ball, they're still under pressure, and Warrington are a side that really do make a lot of mistakes, and Salford have got the one against the head again. Very good use of the narrow side. And the referee's gone over there. It looks to me as if that may well be a... Is it going to be a penalty against Warrington? Head-high tackle. Salford surely. Are they going to kick a goal? I think Andy Gregory's... are they going to go for the 4 points? So there's a discussion going on at the moment. Gregory is in fact going to take the tap, so I think you better take over, Pete.
But thrilling. And what second scrum in the match against the Head, Jim. And Salford now really, can they turn this possession into try scoring points? Panapa wants to. Forceful, positive running from him. Great joy to see. Oh, and somebody trying to squirm up. The ball is dropped. Panapa rescues it. Referee plays on. Now a chance over that size. Being run. Webster's running. Is he going to be bundled into touch? He just stays in play. He fancied he saw the line there. Couldn't quite make it over. McAvoy has to get it out. Warrington up so quickly. All the way along the line. Salford knock on. And the superb defence from Warrington. They were up so quickly. They were up to the 20 from their own line quicker than Salford could get the ball across the line. That's superb defence, an indication of what the game's all about. If Salford, if only they could have got the passes out quicker, but the Warrington defence, too good, Jim.
Yeah, the Warrington defenders were screaming out there, coming out at pace, but it just shows how good Andy Gregory is, because he did manage to get the ball away. The other player's just a little bit too slow. Yestin Harris, again in the standoff berth. Hasn't done too much, Yestin Harris, but one feature in the second half has been the tackling, I think, of Alan Bateman in the right wing position. He saved Warrington certainly on 2 occasions, and his tackling always is excellent, and tonight is a good example of that. So Warrington in possession. Mark Wainwright feinting as if to get the ball back inside onto the Warrington hooker there, Andy Bennett. Shelford eventually onto Harris. Warrington moving the ball around now. Harris eventually onto Lee Penny. Good half break there from Lee Penny, still going. Eventually angle tap, but that's the last tackle. But Warrington really in the Salford half with the ball in the hands for the first time. One up in the air from Davis into the snow, not really too far forward. Taken again by Warrington, that's 6 again. So Warrington really now 12 points apiece here at the Willows, and Warrington have got a chance. That's Mark Foster making good yardage forward. Not particularly good tackling from Salford as they try and regroup. Andy Bennett again going for the line. Held just short, 2 or 3 yards out, just to the left of the post there, so the Salford tackling is going to have to be good here. Warrington are going to try and work the overlap. It's onto Yestin Harris again. A long pass from Harris, eventually in the arms of Alan Bateman, going on his own. Alan Bateman still going, coming inside, but a very good tackle. A hint of a late tackle as well, I think. Top and tail. Yestin Harris, Warrington spinning the ball along. It's onto Shelford. Is the gap going to go open up? In the arms of Benchaliff, Jonathan Roper! And he's tackled there just 4 to 5 yards short. That's the last tackle. Some excellent rugby league here from both sides. Wainwright onto Gary Tees, who will score. A very good try for Warrington really on the last tackle. The ball moved along in the arms of Wainwright, made it to 2 or 3 yards to the line, and there was Gary Tees coming in at pace. 2 or 3 Salford players attempt to put him down as he did over the line, but Tees scores for Warrington. Salford 12, Warrington 16. How did you see that, Steve?
Oh, it was a great piece of rugby from both teams, because the handling from Warrington was good along the line, the defence from Salford was good, and in the end, well, it was a good try. Of course it was a good try, but Salford will look back and think, if only they'd just been a little bit more alert at that 6th tackle. They've just sort of maybe running out of steam a little bit, because they didn't move up quickly for the last tackle. If they had, they only needed to have moved up another 6 inches, and that would have been enough to stop him scoring. But that counts for nothing now, because Warrington got the try as the snow really comes teeming down, putting a white cover on the pitch, and that's going to make handling very difficult in this game. And that one goes wide, so Salford still in with a chance. Davis uncharacteristically has missed a couple tonight, Jim. So the weather taking a turn for the worse. Warrington fans though braving the elements behind the sticks, where they've just seen their team scorer tried to take them into a 16 points to 12 lead. And Warrington going forward at great pace. Superb break. Who was that, Jim?
That was Lee Penny, and he handed on to Jonathan Roper. And Warrington really playing into quite a strong wind now, and you can probably see the hail coming down and the snow, which is giving the pitch its white covering. So the conditions are not very good there, but that was a lovely break from Lee Penny. Really has a marvellous game. On to Alan Bateman. Difficult ball for Bateman to take a little bit high, but he did it extremely well. Jonathan Davis into Shelford. Shelford onto Gary Tees, the Warrington try-scorer. This time Salford are alive to him, but that's the last tackle, and it's still danger for Salford here. Salford inside their own 20, defending well, onto Jonathan Davis, little kick ahead, taken beautifully there by Philip Ford. That was difficult because the ball was skimming along the ground. Ford took it exceptionally well, but it was a good chase from Davis, and a very good ankle tap from him as well. So Salford in possession, 2 or 3 yards out of the line, coming forward, but they certainly seem to have gone off the boil again.
Well, whether it's the effect of 2 games in 3 days, but that's the same for both teams. Whether the off-the-field troubles means that training hasn't been quite as sharp as it ought to have been, because now Warrington's tackling effort has really gone up a gear, and Salford have had the 6 and have only just broken the 20. I don't know whether Naylor realises it, but he still gets his pass on to McAvoy over there, and McAvoy is being pulled back for a forward pass. Fans over that side didn't like it, but Salford certainly struggling to make ground then, and I think perhaps there was a little feature in Salford's play there that the second tackle there was nobody to receive the ball, and Gregory had to run something like 5 or 6 metres to get to the play of the ball. So forward pass, and Warrington in possession.
Forward pass and a turnover. Mark Hilton. Thought Mark Hilton had lost the ball, but he hadn't. He gets up with the ball in his hands, onto Shelford again, who really is probing well tonight. Gary Sanderson, 2 or 3 yards short of the 20, and Warrington, I think, as the game goes on, are getting stronger, and they're tackling very well indeed. They're using the ball well. And that's T spinning around, attempting to get the ball away, but he can't quite do that. Bennett again at dummy half, who really has had a marvellous game tonight for Warrington. He's been in virtually every move and made the first try and scored it as well. Onto Shelford. A few yards out against, eventually onto Maguire, who will score. That's the second Warrington try, really a straightforward try. The ball really moved along the line. Maguire coming in at pace. Salford 12 at Warrington 20, and it's all going wrong for the Red Devils at the moment. They had such a bright opening to the first half and to the second half, but they really seem to have gone off the boil again. They're backing off the Warrington attackers.
But certainly they're not moving up into the tattle now. And Warrington, well, they've been rampant in the opening 13 minutes of this second half. They've put the passes together, they've gone up a gear in their attacking play, and they've set out to make the game safe. And with that conversion, they may well have done so, because they pushed the lead up to 22 points to 12. So can Salford find some hidden depth, some more reserves? Certainly an early try, we're getting them back into it. A change on the Salford side. Craig Randall is coming on for David Young, I think. Oh, fresh legs. That ball still didn't go dead. Warrington had the chance to recover it. Rugby league, game of perpetual motion these days. 13 players on the field, and each team having to think all the time, having to move all the time, be in position to tackle or to pass and to run like that. Forceful running, good tackling from Panapa. Warrington trying to create the opening. Davis with a kick, long deep kick. Tyra makes it his, and he's already setting off at pace. Comes back inside when maybe the outside route could have found dividends. Naylor going on his own, but Salford need the passing movement, the cohesive effort, and Mark Lee signalling that Naylor's had a knock in that tackle. Well, it seemed just a routine tackle, Jim, but obviously everybody knew that something had clicked, it would appear, and Scott Naylor in some pain with his right ankle. Oh, well, he's up. Is he going to be able to continue? Oh, David Young's on. And Salford making their second change. Scott Naylor limping off. Only just his third match after an earlier injury against Halifax. So it's... And Bob Marston proving again how elusive he is. So it's Scott Wilson who's come on. Mark Lee working that short side with Critchley, but the ball goes to ground. And the game most definitely shifting Warrington's way at the moment, Jim.
Yeah. I think it's also died a little bit, and I'm hardly surprised because both sides have given their all. But Warrington really are getting stronger as the game goes on. And they're making some good ground forward. That last tackle appeared to me to be fairly innocuous. I don't know exactly what happened, but the Warrington player certainly heard something and called the referee over. Warrington really handling the ball there quite, excuse me, quite well, but nobody really trying to make the extra man. And that's Alan Bateman coming forward. Just midway between the 20 and the halfway line. The crowd fairly quiet at the moment. The Salford crowd in particular, I would think, the Salford spectators. That's Mark Hilton, put down there just 2 or 3 yards short of the try line. And it's Shelford again, the Warrington standoff. Still gets the ball away again onto Andy Bennett, who really is such a strong running hooker. He has played on the wing. I think he's played at loose forward as well for Warrington. Little kick ahead there this time. Eventually taken extremely well by Salford, back in possession, but Salford really now, with about 23 minutes gone, really would like to have another try on the scoreboard as the Salford spectators yell to the referee to get Warrington on side.
We've heard that before. Critchley wants to go on his own, but this season there's no way through for Critchley on his own. Only a couple of tries short, I think, of his 50 for the club. Randall gets an important pass on, and Mark Lee nearly makes space from nothing and gets on quickly, and Gregory goes. Must have been offside. Referees deciding to play advantage, and Panapa is going again on his own so well, and passes on to Craig Randall in support. Great Salford attack, and Panapa, the referee lets him go. He says it went right, he said it went backwards. Ian Blease running across field, going forward on his own. It needs cohesive teamwork. It's the last tackle, and another, well, the first chance for Salford for a while comes to nothing. The break was good from Panapa, but the finishing, well, not in Warrington's class at the minute.
Not at all. I was wondering whether Mark Lee knew, in fact, that was the 5th tackle, because he just seemed to go towards the post. Warrington player injured. Is it Jonathan Davis? It looks to me as if it may well be on the far side. That's Mark Wainwright again. Not had too much of the ball in the second half, but manages to get the ball onto Alan Bateman, who is such an unselfish centre. He really does like to unload onto the wingman as fast as he can, put him into good positions. Yet it was in fact Jonathan Davis, but he's up again. None the worse for that. And 22 points to Warrington, 12 to Salford, with about 21 minutes to go on the clock. So we're midway through. We're coming into the 3/4 point. Yestin Harris, what a lovely break. On again, this time to the Warrington fullback Lee Penny, but a superb tackle by his opposite number. Lovely break there from Yestin Harris, but the Salford defence at the moment is all over the place, trying to get the ball away onto Alan Bateman, who surely was taken after the ball had gone. That will be a penalty, I'm quite convinced, to Warrington. It was a high tackle too, and again... immediately there, back again onto Shelford. Warrington spinning the ball around beautifully here. Must have an overlap. Davies trying to get the ball away. Doesn't do so. Eventually the ball in the hands of Salford. It's going to be a knock-on. Surely that will be a scrum down, but that was a good handling movement there from Warrington. The ball away across the field. Davies almost made the break. Tried to unload. Just couldn't quite get the ball away. Ball to ground. 2 knock-ons. The first one is the one which the referee has taken, so it's Salford in possession again.
Yeah, crisp handling from Warrington, and Salford defence stretched, and certainly another try. Oh, there's one against the head, Warrington way. Unbelievable. 3 this match. 2 to Salford, 1 to Warrington. Great pressure from them.
Well, if you'd had a bet on this at 100 to 1, you'd have made quite a lot of money tonight at 3 against the head in one game of rugby league. 2 to Salford, as Steve said, and 1 to Warrington. Warrington in possession again, trying to get the ball away. Yestin Harris, who really does remind me of Henry Paul, the Wigan centre fullback standoff. He really can sidestep of either foot. And Warrington in possession, right inside the Salford 20. Gary Tees there, just pulled down about 4 to 5 yards short. Warrington in attacking formation, attempting to get the ball away. Yestin Harris again, onto Shelford, but the Salford tacklers this time come in quickly. That's the last tackle. Jonathan Davis in superb position there for a drop goal. Is he going to have a go at one? Ball loose. Bateman goes for the ball again, but Salford back in possession. So this really is a chapter of accidents.
Well, not that time. Mark Lee was absolutely brilliant in throwing his body at the boot of Jonathan Davis. And then I think it was Critchley who followed it up by making the ball safe. And that was an important defensive period for Salford, because the Salford fans know that we're seeing a Salford performance that's 10 times better than we saw on Sunday. But it's got to be converted into points. Well, that's Martin Burkitt, isn't it? Not Wilson at full-back. And that is a kick and a half. Absolutely brilliant kick. So the programme said it was Wilson who was substitute, but I'm sure that's Martin Burkitt. And I think that was an important period of play for Salford. If Warrington had scored then Salford were dead and buried. But there's still, you know, there's just that little lingering hope, isn't there?
I think you're right, Steve. I think if Warrington had scored then, probably the floodgates would have opened. But it didn't happen, and a lovely kick there from Gregory, beautifully weighted, just bouncing to touch there, just 10 yards short of the Warrington try line. Are we going to see another one against the head? We've seen 3 tonight. Ball out again on the Warrington side. The arms of Jonathan Roper. He's tackled there just inside the Warrington 20, but Salford appear to have a little bit more zest, a bit more zip in their playing and the tackling. Having said that, Yestin Harris coming away again with the ball, had a marvellous second half. Not too much in evidence in the first half, I don't think. But I've always wanted to see Yestin Harris in the standoff berth. He can sidestep off either foot, a very safe pair of hands, a good kicker, reads the game well. For a very slightly built player, he can tackle well too. That's Mark Hilton. Warrington still in possession. That looks to me as if it's the 4th in this play. On again to Mark Wainwright. Wainwright coming to the narrow side, attempting to make a break, still going. Tall player, slightly built player, but very difficult to put to ground. Andy Bennett this time, in the arms again of Jonathan Davis. A kick this time, eventually to Phil Ford. Ex-Warrington, of course. Ankle tapped, tackle there, just on the 20.
Ford not quite getting away. It's been the Salford story the last few weeks. Players not quite able to get away at vital times. But Salford fans really trying to support the team tonight. Good to hear. And Randall shrugs off one, gets the pass away, and there's a pass on to Marsden. Marsden's running as he can and does. Panapa inside pass to Ian Blease. Gregory, the high one. The chase is on, well taken by Pennant, and immediately he's into his stride. Good take from him.
Yes, I think over the past 2 or 3 weeks, Penny really has improved. His handling has improved. His awareness of the game, I think, has improved. What a good break there from Alan Bateman. And Jonathan Roper nearly collides with him, manages to jump over the top of him. Andy, it looks like Mark Foster again. And Salford really backing off Warrington at the moment. They're not moving in as fast as they might at the play of the ball. It's Lee Penny again, really is having a marvellous second half. And Warrington there have made a good 60 yards in 3 tackles. And Salford are really backing off Warrington a little bit. They're not coming in as fast as they might. Shelford eventually onto Bateman. Bateman on his own. Slightly built centre, but very difficult to tackle. Runs straight, runs direct, tackles beautifully. Again, Jonathan Davis. Nobody came towards him at all. Good kick, beautifully taken. An absolute copybook take there from Tyra. Any young schoolboys watching this video, feet on the ground, watching the ball, feet together. Superb tackle. Sorry, superb take, but that was a good tackle there from Gary Tees and Mark Wainwright. And Salford still in possession. And they're just 2 or 3 yards outside the 20. I'm just about to hand over to Steve, but this play's still going on. Salford moving away well, so they made a good 30 yards there, Steve.
Yeah, it was a great take from Tyra. It's Richard Webster who was substituted earlier. And the penalty going Salford's way. And Gregory with the kicking duties. Good kick, good distance. Now a try from now. Mark Lee says, I'll go on my own for that one. Warrington alert to it. Eccles tries to force his way through. Salford's score at this phase of the game would lift them so much. Like that, Marsden, but isn't that so unlucky? Yet again, unforced error, possession conceded, when Marsden really looked if he'd really broken that tackle as though there was a try possibility. Oh, what a shame.
Salford really had come back into the game a little bit then, hadn't they? They'd made a good 60 yards in 3 tackles, and then a good kick from Andy Gregory, and that was rather unfortunate. So Gary Tees comes off, as Stuart tells me, and it's Dave Elliott comes on for Warrington. Fresh pair of legs. I think what Warrington need at the moment, there's only about 13 minutes to go. Good break there from Yestin Harris, still going. What a marvellous prospect he is. Gets the ball onto Jonathan Davis. Jonathan Davis will come inside. Still going, Jonathan Davis, still going. What a marvellous try for Jonathan Davis. Made really by Yestin Harris. A lovely break from inside the 20. Davis took the ball just on the halfway line. Was shadowed by 1 or 2 Salford players. Immediately sidestepped off his left foot. Came inside. Carried on sidestepping. Eventually rounded the cover. Right under the post. Salford 12. Warrington 26, and that may well be curtains for Salford. That really was an excellent end-to-end try for Warrington, Steve.
Oh, 2 more, 28, 12. But at least we're seeing Salford running back to the centre, because they couldn't manage that on Sunday. And hopefully with just one coach man in charge, there'll be a new purpose and direction. But with Wigan to play down here on Sunday, ooh. 3rd game in a week. Another change on the Salford side. I think it's Cliff Eccles this time who's gone off. And perhaps Richard Webster come back on, not quite sure. It happened just slightly out of my vision. But Warrington in the driving seat. Is it 3 second-half tries turn this game?
Yeah. 28 points to 12 in Warrington's favour with just 11 minutes to go. One would think that Warrington will go back to Wilderspool with the 2 points tonight, but you never know. Marvellous game is rugby league, many twists and turns in any game. Maguire coming forward, but Warrington have scored 3 lovely tries in the second half, none better than the one from Jonathan Davis just a couple of minutes ago. Mark Hilton. Nobody has tried harder than Mark Hilton tonight in the centre of the field. Started the season, of course, as a substitute, and every time he came on got some very good write-ups, some good reviews as well. Mark Wainwright. So Warrington really have got some strength in depth. But as Steve said, Salford really must feel sorry for themselves, having Wigan here on Sunday. Castleford, Wigan and Warrington inside a week. Phil Ford does very well in the end as that ball eludes him. Salford back in possession. They're 16 points down. They've got to score at least 3 times, and they've only got 10 minutes to do it in, Steve.
Yeah, it's a bit of a tall order, but you never know. Richard Webster is back on. Ford turned his back on the ball after it had bounced. Randall took that bullet pass high up. Gets the pass on again. But Piper not quite ready for it. Slightly in front of it. And Salford's head's going down a little bit. Perhaps with a little bit understandable in view of the effort and determination and commitment that we've seen from Salford for most of this game. But the game goes on with Warrington in possession.
Now just 10 minutes to go here. Yestin Harris with the ball in his hands onto Jonathan Davis, who seems to change gear. Davis away again. Eventually tackled just inside the 20, but Davis has caused all kinds of problems in the second half for this Salford defence. Mark Wainwright. Warrington not really moving up themselves at the moment. I think they're having a bit of a breather. But Salford really have got to keep them out here, otherwise it will be curtains for the Willows side. It's on eventually to Alan Bateman. Bateman still going. Miss move there. Missed out Lee Penny. Handed the ball on to Mark Foster. Bateman again at acting half-back. It's in the arms of Gary Sanderson. Sanderson still moving forward. Tackle there, just 7 or 8 yards out from the Salford post, just to the right. Warrington 28 points, Salford 12. Warrington looking to put some more points on the board here. A long pass there, really, eventually taken very well indeed by Jonathan Roper. Roper still moving forward, gets the ball away, and Warrington keeping this ball alive in remarkable fashion. Jonathan Davis again, but the ball eventually put into dead. That's going to be a kick out from between the posts, but I presume that Warrington will get possession back. And now Warrington really making huge inroads into this Salford defence. None better than Jonathan Davis. So Salford to kick out again from between the posts. We think with about 8 minutes on the clock. Warrington 28 points, Salford 12. Salford took an early lead. In fact, they were in the lead by 4 points to 2 after about 10 minutes play, but Warrington really, as long as the game has gone on, have got stronger and stronger and stronger. The tackling has improved, the handling's improved. And the Warrington forwards in particular, and I think especially Maguire and Wainwright, and Hilton, one would say, have played a marvellous part in what could be a good victory here at the Willows tonight. But the game isn't over yet. In the arms of Yestin Harris. Harris still moving forward. Onto Lee Penny coming in to make the extra man from the full-back position. Tackle there, just about 12 yards out. Jonathan Davis again. Onto Mark Hilton. Hilton still going forward. He's only about 7 yards away. Salford staying on the line. The referee telling them to stay on side. It's another try for Warrington, is it? No, just pulled down short. Looked to me as if it was Andy Bennett. Is it a try this time? Referee says no. That's going to be the turnover. So Salford have got 100 yards to go. 7 minutes left, but they need to do it 3 times at least.
Well, anything's possible, but he somehow can't quite see it. Salford have not been able to score a try the second half. They've had a couple of chances early on, but the longer the game has gone on, the more difficult they've found it to break the defence of Warrington, because when they threaten Warrington like that, Warrington defenders have got the measure on them. But Bob Marsden wants to do something about it. There's a good long pass, but it doesn't go to hand. Ford does well to pick it up and gets clear and runs positively. Now can he go all the way? He's got Warrington men round him, goes one way, looks for support. He gets support from Ian Blease. Ian Blease on his own, going for the corner. But again, the story of Salford's season is the last tackle, and they're so nearly, but not quite. Pass not going to hand. Good long pass out, men over, surely there must be a try. Along the line, all the way from one side of the park to the other is absolutely textbook rugby league. It seemed to take an age for it to get over there, but in the end, when it came, what a superb try it was. Phil Ford, so unlucky, having found the opening, not to be able to get clear. Ian Blease being stopped by the left corner flag, 2 metres short, and then crisp hands right the way along the line from one left-hand side of the field to the right-hand side before McAvoy went over in the corner. So 16-28, and Bob Marsden, Salford's man of the match, not for the first time this season, always catches the eye with his stirring runs. And Richard Webster's catching the eye as well, and Salford looking to swing this ball now. Panapa's going to go forward because the Warrington defence was up quickly. Bob Marsden, man of the match, after another good performance from him. Mark Lee going. Pass goes backwards, nobody wants it. Salford back under pressure apart from, but Marsden says that's mine, and there's why he was man of the match. Thrilling run from him, having to go back 10 metres to collect a ball and make it safe. He then meets 30 forward, and Salford make a muck of the pass from the halfback, and nobody wants it. Panapa does, but he falls over, still gets the pass away. Referee says play on. Salford springing back, and there's the man of the match, Marsden again. Crunching tackle on him. Fair, says the referee. Salford fans didn't like it, but Salford moving this ball around well. It needs the runners like that. Into space. Randall's going, but slips with only one man to beat. The story of Salford. And Lee gets the ball away somehow, and Gregory does the same, but Salford under all sorts of pressure. And in the end, after all that, concede possession after one of the best attacks of the game. but at the end they didn't have that vital cohesion, they didn't have that extra little bit of something that enabled them to finish. Randall, beautiful take of the ball into space, but didn't know quite how to beat the fullback, and Warrington from that situation recovered the ball, and here they are on the halfway line.
Yes, I was just looking at the clock there actually, Steve, and if Salford had scored, we may well have had a draw in our hands. There would have been a definite possibility of that. Warrington still moving forward. Andy Bennett in the arms out of Iestyn Harris. Iestyn Harris going on his own. Really is difficult to put down. Marvellous sidestep, as we said before. He's in possession. On to Jonathan Davis. Nobody really goes towards Davis. Davis puts the ball away. Beautifully taken by McAvoy. Eventually put down there just 2 or 3 yards short. So are we going to see an 80-yarder here, Steve?
Well, let's hope so, but not now, because Salford have surrendered possession on the first one after that great take by McAvoy. Webster couldn't take the pass, or was it Eccles? But Warrington on the charge forward, like that, into space. Shelford taking the ball at full speed. And when you receive the pass with space in front of you, you might be 20 metres out. But when you've got that little yard of a gap to get through, and you've got the pace of a man like Shelford, you see the line and you score. Another good Warrington try.
That puts Warrington in the lead now by 32 points to 16 with 38 minutes gone in the second half. Only 2 minutes to go. But after that, Salford have come back a little bit, and as Steve said a couple of times, that, or more than that really, that Salford, the story of their season has been they've just been pulled down short, or the last pass has not gone to hand, or a player's been held up over the line, and really they have been rather unlucky. But I'm sure with this man Andy Gregory at the helm, Salford will come from strength to strength. But Warrington in possession again, just outside the 20. They still want some more points on the board, because as you know, from 2 years ago, points for and against counts quite a lot in the Rugby League. When Wigan got the championship from Warrington and Bradford on points scored, and Warrington still would like to score another try, I think, but we're now playing time added on for stoppages. Again, that's a little kick ahead by Shelford. Ball taken very well indeed by Salford. It's quite a few Salford fans, I think, are wending their weary way home tonight, having seen the team lose twice in 3 days here at the Willows, and of course they've got Wigan on Sunday. But Salford's still in possession. Andy Gregory still trying to prompt his forward. Salford's still attempting to get the ball away, but it's difficult for them now. They're a tired looking outfit. They've given their all, but I don't think it's been Salford's night. But still in possession. The referee, Mr. Smith, trying to keep Warrington on side, and 1 or 2 Salford spectators have felt tonight that Warrington have lay offside quite a lot of the game. I don't really think they have. I think that's something we hear at Rugby League quite a lot. And Salford's still in possession, using the narrow side. Little kick ahead. McAvoy again. The ball eventually taken there by Jonathan Roper, as the crowd really now has gone very, very quiet indeed. I almost heard a pin drop here at the Willows. It's Jonathan Roper. Tackle there. That looks to me as if that may well be a penalty for a high tackle. As Roper gets up, I've seen tackles like that not been penalised in the past, to be perfectly honest. It's fairly innocuous to me, Steve, but and particularly at this time in the game, with 42 minutes gone, giving a penalty for that. It's an interesting decision by Mr. Smith. But Warrington still playing, and so are Salford. Mark Hilton still going forward. But the ground, and there in fact is the final score, the final hooter here at the Willows. The final score, Warrington 32 points, Salford 16. Thank you, Steve, for your hospitality. I know you'd like to say 1 or 2 things to wind the game up, but a good performance, I think, particularly in the second half by Salford, by Warrington. Fairly lacklustre, I think, in the first half, but a good game of Open Rugby League, Steve.
Yeah, if you're a Warrington fan, and for Salford supporters, yes, it was a better performance, but performances count not for very much if you don't get the results, and that's what Salford need soon, is some victories to renew the hearts and hopes of the Salford fans and get them back down here at the Willows. We wish them all well. Wigan on Sunday. You're up at Workington on Sunday.
Yes, apparently so.
Enjoy your trip. All the best from the Willows. Great entertainment as always. Final score, Salford 16, Warrington 32.